Hello friends. Today we are working on a Miller Blue Star 185 portable gas welder. It's the Blue Star DX series welder generator. I bought this off a marketplace and we're going to do a little bit of work. Electric start doesn't work. The pole start partially works. It's powered by a Kohler, I think it's 10.5 horse engine. It's in pretty reasonable shape, very expensive to replace, and I got it at a good deal, so I think we're going to fix it up. It's 360 hours on the clock. I'm going to pull the cover off. There's an electrical problem. I bought a new battery for it. That's the battery there. That's all charged up, ready to go. That'll get installed. That goes in down under there. We'll install the battery. But I'm going to try to find why it won't crank. So I got to pull this cover off on the top and see what's going on from there. I know everybody gets excited about seeing bolts removed, so we'll go ahead and oblige everybody and remove some bolts to get this cover off. That should expose what I need to find out why it won't electrically, it won't crank over. So that's okay. I think I read the schematic and I think the problem is a blown fuse. Yeah, I'll get the cover off and be right back. Now I got the cover off. You can see here she's a bit dusty inside. I think what I'm going to do is fire up the compressor before I put all this back together again, blow it all out. And then what I want to do is I want to get at the governor linkage down there. So I'm going to take the fuel tank off. Give me a little bit better vantage point. And I'll probably, seeing how you can barely get at that spark plug down there, I'll put a new spark plug in it. Just to say we did. And drain the oil, change the oil, so that's what we'll do an oil change on it. I'll pull off the recoil starter, see if I can get that working. Kohler 12.75 is the motor. Get a look at the air cleaner and go from there. So that's what she looks like underneath. Everything seems to be okay. Just a little bit of dirt. So, and we have started it, and it did work. We tested the generator portion of it as well as the welding capability when they bought it. We didn't. I didn't know if the generator portion worked, but it does. It seems to run power tools okay. So we'll keep moving on. I'll get another shot of it once I get the fuel tank out. Well, I got the fuel tank out. That exposes this cover. So I think I'll do is pull the cover off, and that should expose everything else. So see what's underneath there. It's not so bad, I don't think. And I'm gonna need two hands to get this off. Or maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna need two hands. Stand by. Well, I got in there. I suspect the fuse that I'm looking for is in here. other than more dust. What we did find is there's a bolt missing that secures, there's 2 bolts missing that secures the muffler. So we'll figure out what size those are, re-secure those. But, oh, excuse me, like I said, I'm gonna look at changing the change spark plug, which is right there, and clean up some stuff under here and figure out what happened to them exhaust bolts. Everything still feels pretty rigid, but I'd still like to have them in there. That's choke control. The throttle's all automatic, controlled by the unit itself. So let's go in deeper. And I found this screw here, and I don't know what the heck that came out of. It was laying down on the governor linkage. That's quite bizarre. I don't see any socket head screws in here at all, so this might be from something that's totally unrelated. I don't see anything. I'll just keep it handy. But we're going to go in deeper and see if we can't find what's going on. Be back. Well, I got the fuse holder out. It was inside the back of the box, just like I said. It's screwed down into and underneath this hole. I'll pull out the fuse and test it. It appears to be blown, and lo and behold, they give you a spare fuse right in the holder, which is kind of nice because online the fuse that it stated that it was, it is not in fact the fuse that's in there. So I must have gotten the wrong owner's manual and parts manual, because it goes by serial number, and didn't have the serial number in front of me, and this is what it said for a fuse. And if we look at what's in there, obviously that's not it. So I'm going to get this, I'll get the fuse changed out. I'll test it first. Hold on a second. I got the fuse out, and I don't know if you can see that. It appears to be blown right there at the top. Yeah, so what we'll do is we're going to check it with an ohmmeter. This ohmmeter doesn't have beep mode, but it does have obviously ohms because it's an ohmmeter, and diode check mode. It's going a little bit screwy. I think maybe because it's got a battery light going. I've never seen one display a number like that. But so there's the leads shorted together, and I get 0 ohms, which is right. So see if I can do this. I'm stabbing one. Oops, off camera. Okay, so I've got the 2 leads there, and it's the same as open. So we're going to say that fuse is open. So we'll get the other fuse, the spare. And when you look at it, it looks good. No issues there, same value. And then we'll do the same thing over again. And there, and there. It reads continuity. Well, that's what you call continuity. So that means that the voltage from the voltmeter is able to pass through here, through the lead, back out again. So that means it's good. When it's blown, the voltage will be on one side. It can't complete the path because this path is missing. So you get nothing on this side. So that's the difference in the reading. So that's how you test a fuse. And that goes basically for any fuse. It's nice when the meters have an audible beep. This one doesn't, but whatever. So it's the same deal with one of these guys. It's one side passing voltage through the other. So if you touch both sides, now this is difficult to do with one hand. Plus it's cylindrical and it wants to take off here, so let's see if we can get it. Nice video of my arm. Well, you get to see arm here. So I'm going to try this another way. There you go. One lead's in my hand, under my thumb. You can see it there for the meter. And the other lead's there. And we have a closed circuit. So that's how you test a fuse. So when you're working on something, that's how you do it. Shocking, isn't it? Anyway, I'll get back to you. I'm going to put this back together and then we'll see what happens. So, I've got the fuse changed. I don't know if it's going to start. Hopefully it'll stay running so I can check the alternator. Nope. No such luck. And the reason why it shut down is there's no gas tank. But it's working good off the electric start. So I'll get it put back together and then we'll check the alternator. Maybe we'll throw the real battery in it. See how it goes with that, because I was just jumping it off this car battery. We'll do that, see what happens. I'm gonna dump out the fuel, change the fuel, put fresh fuel in it, and then we'll warm it up, do an oil change on it. I can't do the spark plug right now. Well, I could. I have to go to town and get a spark plug because I don't have a BPR4ES. I only have 6s, and that's 2 heat ranges colder, so I don't think I'm going to try that. I'll leave it in there and just change it out. Or maybe I'll run down the hill. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, I'm going to get this fuel out of the tank here, this old fuel. I don't know how old it is, I have no idea. So we'll put fresh fuel in it and start being able to put it back together again, which would be good. Anyway, we'll get back to you as soon as we get everything back together again. Jake's just installing the battery. Took the tray out, flattened it out, took out the rod, the hold down rods, they're a little bent. So we're doing that. 2 bolts missing on the exhaust. Can't get one in. We got one though, the one on the top. So that'll have to do for now. That's one right there. Had that in stock, luckily. I did a test on it, as you guys know. Everything was okay. So I got to thinking about it. It's about 20 minutes worth of work to change out the spark plug. And there it is there. So I thought, you know what, I'll run down the hill. I'll grab some spark plugs. So I bought 2 plugs. One I put into it. And the other one's going to be a spare. We dumped all the gas. So we're going to put fresh fuel in it. Fresh premium fuel, because I have no idea what they put in there. We just want to get it to the point where it's all back together again and we can run it for a bit.
Do the oil and
Get the oil change done.
start putting that out on YouTube or on
Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace for some molding work. So,
But we'll get her going. So the hour meter seems to be true because I wiped off the hour meter and it's never been changed and it did work. So I think our hour meter's true. The machine is, I think, about 13 years old. I think it was '08 it was built. It's the Miller Blue Star 185. So it's a constant current DC welder. It'll run 185 for the amperage. There's the 220 amp outlets, plus it'll do I think 40 amps, single phase 240. So that'll run the big welder if we have to run the big MIG welder. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. There's the circuit breakers, 30 amps in 220s. So that'll run grinders. That'll run everything we need to do. So good farm machine all around, I think. There's the new battery in there. Good farm machine, good light duty industrial kind of a deal.
Not the size of the Bobcat.
No, it's not a Bobcat series.
The Bobcats they're about 200 amps or so, but they're twice the size. And then you gotta think about, this weighs 400 pounds. A Bobcat's gonna weigh close to 600-700 pounds. You gotta have a trailer, you gotta build or something. So this will get us going. Industrial compact. It's good for guys that just want to build a cradle in the back of a pickup truck and maybe go and do some work, or want to service their farm equipment or their homestead stuff, or but do keep in mind you're looking at about $6,000 brand new, so it's a fair investment. So we're happy to get this one for the price that we did.
So we'll stop the video for now, and I'll put we'll get the top back together again, and then we'll come back to it. Yeah, the recoil was just a matter of cleaning the dirt out of it with some brake parts cleaner.
Yeah.
Just spray that down like that, because the friction disc is working okay. Everything's working okay. It's just that it wouldn't pull out the pause, and the pause has got to engage inside the starter cup, which is that big thing there. So got that fixed. I'll put that back on. So far we changed the blown fuse, put in a new battery, replaced the missing exhaust bolt, straightened out the battery tray, got all that fixed up, and we dumped
the battery hold down rods.
Yeah, straightened out the battery hold down rods, and then what we're going to do next is
we're going to go after some peripherals on this. We're thinking about fixing if you want to come around to the front of the welder here, Dad, the leads.
Yeah, the leads are a little janky.
We're going to fix up the leads and maybe get some quick connects, because you can run a bit longer of the cable, and you can take them off to move the welder around a little bit easier. You can roll them up or whatever. Maybe, we'll see.
So Jake's just finishing up on the battery, and I'm going to go back and start putting the cover back on, because we're done there. Then I'll put the recoil back on, so I'll grab the video again in a bit. So I got the air filter out. Whoa, what a surprise that was. I forgot all about it. I would have ordered one. That's what we call toute finie. She is dirty. Wow. There ain't no hope in heck of seeing daylight through that. I'll rinse it off with some brake clean, but that's the best that we're going to do for today. I'll have to see if I can get one. Get one ordered up. I don't even think brake clean might help a bit. Maybe a bit, who knows. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to check that. Sherman the Wonder Dog's here to check things out. More or less. Oh, there he goes. Well, the smell of gasoline's bothering him. Sherm, get out of there. You're going to stink like gas. So I got the cover back on. Just got to throw the bolts in. So yeah, time to order an air filter. I'll get these bolts back in. Well, I didn't need that many because there's one that holds the cover. Set you down for a second.
Good.
Here's a 3/8. People like it when you can see your fingers moving and putting stuff back together for some reason. I don't know why. But that's where the air filter goes. You can see the carburetor there. I'll have to order one. Not going to be all that good with that setup. I'll put you down again. There's a view of where we're working beside the garage. And sorry about that. It ain't gonna work. Need a longer extension, Jake. You know that long extension? Can you get that bolt for me? Because you got to go alongside the sheet metal. That last little,
Which one?
the one there at the top.
Here?
Nope.
Here?
Up,
Here.
yep.
Yep.
That's the... Jake's going to get that. I'll give you the cameraman for a bit.
We'll do it by hand just because we can walk it over with our hatchet. Not risk stripping anything. Just gonna come over and... Good.
So we got that back in, so we'll hook up the fuel line. Now the tank just lays in there. It's kind of a weird setup. It's like that. Where's those pliers? Oh, drop that socket, Jake, behind the garbage can. Okay, so that petcock is in the off position, that's on. So with this type of equipment, it's definitely always best to travel or move the equipment around in the off position because it will flood for sure. Okay, I'm gonna go back at it and put this air breather back together. See the black fly?
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Some of this video might be upside down. We'll have to wait and see because I'm not sure if the gimbal will flip it around. Okay, we're ready to start it. We got fuel back in the fuel tank. I'm going to start it. Jake, do a voltage check on that battery right now. You can do it over here in the starter if it's easier. You might be able to get to it rather than trying to climb under there. Can you see the starter motor? Or is that just as bad?
Oh, this is bad, unfortunately.
All right. So we're going to check the alternator. Go ahead and get your voltage reading again. We're just going to check the voltage rating on the battery first, then we'll start it up and see what we get from there. I washed the air filter out with brake clean for now. See if that'll get us.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Oh, fuel is on position now. At 13.06, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on to it while you're stay there while you're doing it. Stay on it.
Hang on a second.
That's a good battery.
Okay.
What do you got? You got no reading.
What happened?
Okay, you're good now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, maybe we need some choke. Flooded. Going higher, not lower. We may have a problem with the voltage regulator or the diode. We're going to have to go into that later on. Yeah. So there's another problem we've got to resolve. We won't charge the battery. That rough running's got to be the brake clean in the air filter. Give it a second. We'll do a check on the AC bolts. That's our AC voltage. The DC volts came up to 13.5 volts. Put the engine at full RPM. Now it should go into a lower idle. I think everything's working good right now. We'll get a new air filter for it. We'll tighten the cover back down. But I'm liking it. Next we'll do the oil change and we should be good to go. Definitely liking it. Stand by, we'll get ready on the oil change.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, so we're doing the oil now. Real black when it came out. I wish I could have showed you guys, but we didn't set up for it. No big deal. You all seen black oil before.
Very black.
Very black. Feeling is it's 300 hours in the original oil. So it's a good thing we're here to rescue this poor beast. We're going to run a flush oil in there. We're going to run it for a while and then we'll dump it, and I'll go ahead and put some good oil, commercial small engine oil in it. It'll be a full synthetic oil that'll be its fill for a while. We'll log the hours on it when we did the oil change. And I think she should be good. So we'll get right back to you when we're done, and we'll see how it goes. But that gives you an idea of what came out and what's going in.
Okay, I gotta go find those dots.